Have you ever felt stuck and like you're just ready to reinvent yourself, but you don't know how to go about it? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process over the next 30 days that you can take that can reinvent who you are. So let's dive in. So we're going to take these 30 days and divide it into 4 weeks. And those 4 weeks will include week 1, clear the mental clutter and set the foundation. Week 2, shift your mindset and build new habits. Week 3, take bold action and step outside your comfort zone. And week 4, sustain the transition and reinforce your new identity. So, starting with week 1, the first thing that you want to do is identify what's holding you back. So, we all have limiting beliefs. And I want you to think about, what are those limiting beliefs for you? Where do they come from? And then think about how you can break those limiting beliefs. So if you think about it, we all have things that when we were younger, we never dreamed that we would be able to do, that we've accomplished, right? Like, for example, I really struggled with reading and didn't think I was very smart. I didn't even think I was smart enough to go to college. Not only did I end up going to college, but I ended up getting my MBA and graduating with a 4.0, something my younger self never would have thought was possible. So I believe that there's something that today you do not think is possible. When you look back 5, 10 years, that you're going to be able to have done. So break some of those limiting beliefs, identify what's holding you back, get out a journal, write down those things, because there's something about putting paper and pen between your brain. If you write things down, it makes more sense. It's more likely to stick. And so, again, identify what's holding you back. What are those limiting beliefs? And then tell yourself, I can do it. I did this thing that I didn't think was possible before. Like in my example, I got a 4.0 with my MBA. If I can do that, then I can do this next thing as well. So that's the first thing that you need to do with week 1. The other thing you need to do is to define your reinventing goal. So where are you at today, and where do you want to be after this 30 days? What does that look like? So visualize what you're going to look like and who you're going to be in 30 days. There's a lot of research that's done around visualization, and a lot of athletes do this when they're trying to, win something. They're visualizing themselves winning the race, being on the podium, that sort of thing. And so I want you to do the same thing in reinventing yourself, is to visualize yourself being that new person. Again, you're much more likely to become that person if you've already visualized it in your mind's eye. Once you've done that and you've identified who you want to be in that future self, comment below. Let's support each other and help each other. So, what are you going to do over these 4 weeks, these 30 days, that's going to be reinventing you? Where are you at now, and where do you want to be? How do you want to change? And maybe there's someone in the community here that can support you and help you getting from where you are now to where you want to be. Okay, so week 1, we've identified what's holding you back, and we've looked at defining and setting a goal of who you want to be in the future. Week 2 is about shift your mindset and build new habits. So you want to reprogram the way that you're thinking about things. And so there's a lot of research that's done nowadays that says we can actually rewire our brain, which I found absolutely fascinating and actually mind-blowing. And you can do that by just the way that you think about things, from beating yourself up when you make a mistake, to saying, you know what, we all make mistakes and it's okay that you made a mistake. What can I learn from this mistake, and how can I change things so I don't make that mistake again? So this week you really need to focus on how what's that self-talk that I've had, and how can I reprogram my brain to think differently, to frame things differently, to do differently. So again, think about how you talk to yourself. I'll never be able to accomplish that. I'll never be able to do that. I'll never be as good as him or her or whatever. Change that to, I can do it. It is possible. If he or she can do it, then I can do it. And again, it will start to reprogram your brain. And in fact, I believe that you will start to see possibilities that you didn't see before. So, for example, if you think about this, if you ever wanted a red Jeep, once you've decided that you wanted a red Jeep, all you see on the road is red Jeeps. Now, they didn't all of a sudden start appearing, of course. They were always there. It's just that your focus was different. So, I believe once you shift your focus to things that you think are possible and that you want, and that they're going to start showing up in your life. New opportunities are going to start showing up in your life, which is going to help you be able to make that shift from who you currently are to who you want to become. So remember to really, this next week, really to focus on what are you saying to yourself, reshift that talk, make it positive. You can do this. The other part of week 2 is to up level your habits or upgrade your habits. So, reinventing yourself happens with small, consistent changes. So, think about what are your habits now and what small changes that you do consistently that will help up level you in reinventing yourself. So, for example, if you want to be more confident, you need to start to speak up for yourself a little bit more, start living outside your comfort zone a little bit more than you have, and you will start to build some muscles, some confident muscles, if you will. The more that you do it, the more consistent that you are with it, again, you'll just feel more comfortable with doing it. It's like it's like when you learned how to drive a car. At first, you felt extremely uncomfortable with it, right? But you've done it over and over and over to the point driving, unless it's bad weather or something, you feel pretty comfortable with it. And it's going to be the same with this and reinventing yourself and moving from where you are to where you want to be. It's just kind of doing that over and over and over again so that you get a little bit better and a little bit better and you get a little bit more confident in what you're doing until you start to see a shift in yourself and what you're doing. And I think the greatest compliment is when people say to you, you've changed. You're not who you were before. It's evident to other people that you're making and reinventing yourself, that you're taking small, consistent steps. So really try to focus on that this week. And as you continue to go out throughout the week and the next couple of weeks, these small habits and shifts should help you in getting to that goal that you set in week 1 of where you want to be at the end of 30 days or at the end of 4 weeks. Okay, now we're going into week 3, which is take bold action steps and step outside your comfort zone. So in week 2, you already started to take some little steps and being consistent in those sort of things. So now we want to get a little bit bolder with those action steps. Maybe do something that you feel uncomfortable with every day. And I can promise you that if you start doing things that you're uncomfortable with on a daily basis, that you are really going to build some muscles, whatever those muscles are for you, whether, again, in my example of building some confidence, you're going to really start to see a difference in the way that you approach things and that you approach people, and how, again, you're reinventing yourself over this time frame. The other thing that you want to do is let go of things that are no longer serving you, and possibly people that are no longer serving you. So, is there somebody in your life that says you're never going to be able to do that, that aren't supporting you and lifting you up? And if that's the case, maybe you limit your time around them, or you cut them gracefully out of your life and do it with dignity and respect. Maybe tell them that you're making some changes and this is where I'm going, and you don't seem to agree with what I'm doing, or however you feel comfortable with talking to someone if they're no longer serving you in your life. So again, take action every single day to build those muscles that you become more confident, or whatever you're trying to do. If it's public speaking, for example, that you're doing that a little bit more every day until you get to the point where you really feel comfortable with what you're doing. And I know it's possible because I've done it. I went, as I've said on this channel, from zero self-esteem to living my dream. I went from a very, very, very shy, quiet person that I now do public speaking. And I can promise you that if I can do it, that you can do it too. And I would love for you to comment below. If I can support you in any way, I will do my very best to do that. So you have now week 3. Get out there and get uncomfortable and make some shifts with regards to things that are no longer serving. Okay, now we're at week 4. And I would invite you, if you need to watch this video throughout the next 4 weeks or watch it several times so you know where you are and it keeps you on track, I would invite you to do that. So again, we're to week 4, and this week is about sustain the transformation and reinforce your new identity. So I touched on this last week, but there are going to be people, if you make a dramatic change and you really reinvent yourself, that are going to be uncomfortable with who you're becoming. And they're going to try to sabotage your growth. And you need to be aware and mindful of that and not let them do that to you. This is for you, and this is about reinventing you. So stay strong, even if people try to bring you back and pull you back to who you were, because the brain likes predictability. So they want to be able to predict who you were, and they want you to stay the same, because now that you're different and you're reinventing yourself, again, they're not going to know who you are. You're not predictable, and that's going to make them feel uncomfortable, and they're going to try to, again, pull you back into who you were. And don't let them do that, okay? So stay consistent, stay on track, keep a journal, look at your improvements. Do this again if you need to. As you know, change does not come easy, right? And so sometimes you start, you go a little bit and you take a step back, and then you go 2 steps forward. The thing is are you making progress? Are you trying? That's what's most important. It's not always a straight line. As you know, change can be nonlinear, up and down, all around, everything like that. So if that happens to you, do not beat yourself up. Say, this is normal. This is to be expected, and that's okay. So I hope this video has helped you. I reinvented myself. I know it's possible for you to do the same. You've just got to make a commitment. You've got to stay the course. You got to rewire your brain, and you can do it with the way that you talk to yourself. And little by little, you'll start to see changes. My change didn't happen overnight. It took several actually years to go from having zero self-esteem to absolutely living my dream, again, doing public speaking, getting that MBA with a 4.0. But, you've got to start somewhere, right? You've got to start somewhere. So why not start now? Why not start here? I hope this again has been beneficial to you. If it has, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe so that I can continue to support you in reinventing yourself in personal development and in that whole area of things. So again, as I always say, take care. I am rooting for your success. And I would invite you to watch some of my other videos. I hope that they inspire you so that you know you can make a change too.